Hi, heidi ho, heidi ho. So, the message for today. Um, I wanted to discuss being the black sheep. For those of you who may be a little bit younger in this life and you're going through things in your life and you're the black sheep of your family, the one who's ostracized or pushed aside. So, with myself, I had dyslexia. Well, I still have dyslexia, but um, I've done a lot of learning about even that. So, a lot of very uh, wise men from our past were dyslexic. So, presidents and um, Einstein, and I think Benjamin Franklin was, and so we learn differently from others, but it doesn't make us ignorant. So that's the humorous part. So dyslexia. So being the black sheep. So when I was younger, it bothered me because I was ridiculed for being dyslexic. Had to go to a different school than my siblings because the school that we went to didn't have a class that could work with somebody who had dyslexia. So I had to go to a different school. So I would get on a bus and have to ride to a different school. So we'd go to our school, the school that my siblings went to, and I'd get on a bus and go to the other school. So because I rode a bus, they called me a lot of beautiful names. So they picked on me, beat up on me, and stuff like that. And our dad, he was pretty much in his own world. He was an alcoholic when us kids were growing up, and he liked to beat us with a 2x4, not a paddle. It was a 2x4, the easiest way to say it. But anyway, a lot of things have happened to me in my life, and I carried anger inside, but not towards the world, towards those individuals. And I had to let that go. I had to go back on my timeline and forgive the children, but it doesn't mean you got to forgive the adults. Very key. So you forgive the children, but if they still act like the same dumbasses when they get older, then you don't have to forgive their ignorance. So anyway, the reason why I'm saying all this, a lot of things have happened in my life, but it's what has brought me to where I am now. And I mean, I was in an explosion when I was younger, face burnt, hands burnt, blind in both eyes for months. In a collision, had my lower spine partially severed from my pelvic bone, grossly intact, as the doctors say, grossly intact. So a lot of things have happened to me throughout my life, but the beauty is it showed me the nature of other people's character, and I learned how to recognize certain things in other people. So narcissistic tendencies and sociopathy and psychopathy, I recognize that in others. Um, but I also try to make sure that that doesn't exist within myself to kill out my own ego. So mass formation psychosis, the whole world suffers from mass formation psychosis because we believe we're the sons of men, not the children of our Ima Abba, mother and father. But looking back on the life that I had so much stuff happen to me. It's sickening, but it's because I have empathy for others, and there are people that will take advantage of that, and it's because you grow up and you don't want to do to others. So I was always taught, don't do to others what others do to you, or what you wouldn't want done to yourself. But unfortunately, some people who, when they're narcissistic, they don't think like that. That doesn't click up here. They'll do everything they can to others just because they get off on screwing with other people's lives. So I've had it all happen. Um, I married somebody who I didn't love, ended up having children with her, but I was pushed into that marriage. Um, had family that wanted to be her friend and caused problems because they never grew up. They wanted to continue their childhood into their adulthood. Anyway, the reason why I'm saying all this, the good side is it kept me from wanting to be around those individuals. So a couple of those same individuals ended up hard on drugs and being very promiscuous and having a lot of problems in their own lives, and alcohol and everything else, and this, that, and the other, and very materialistic. So I can't stand materialism. I just cannot stomach materialism. I see it as the most wicked thing. It's okay to love the material world, but not to the point to where you're a glutton for certain things: sex, material possessions, living according to what we need. Our base needs are food, clothing, shelter, and intimacy between the masculine and feminine gender. Everything else is a glutton. So being promiscuous, that's gluttony of intimacy between a man and a woman. Having to have this large mansion, I could live in a freaking forest somewhere in a log cabin and be just fine. A minimalist lifestyle would be just fine with me. So anyway, looking back on my life, and some of you are going to go through this, you're better off to cut ties. Blood is not family. A lot of people say blood is thicker than water. Well, blood can also destroy you. So when you look back on your life, and other people that have already gone through this and gone through the healing process will tell you they're thankful, a lot of them are thankful, like myself, that they weren't accepted by those individuals. Because a lot of those individuals were complete F-ups and they screwed up their own lives. But it's, your family is your soul tribe, people who connect with you. And for me, I never have liked bullies. I cannot stand bullies. That's why I don't like cops, because you're all punks and you're all bullies. You're punks and bullies, pure and simple. You are the long arm of the law, of the bankers. And it's all about piracy and profiteering. So I wore a nom de guerre. I was in the military, in the army. And I was a punk, but I was a young punk. I believed I can have authority and I could do certain things because other men told me I could. But I was looking for my tribe. And trust me, I was really good when I was in the military, because if you told me somebody was bad, I was going after them, because I didn't like bullies to begin with. And the bankers know these things, and they take advantage of younger men, especially younger men, because they know that you're easy to manipulate. You haven't learned life lessons yet. So anyway, I was a punk when I was in the military, trust me. People were afraid of me. I had no problem. Yeah. If you were a punk, I didn't like you. It's pure and simple. Which is why I don't like those guys with the nom de guerre on their chest. That's called a war name. It's a nom de guerre. It's like Rambo. It's a war name. And there's a reason behind that. And it's, you've got to ask yourself, even a plumber, why does he have a nom de guerre or all caps name on his chest? Who are you at war with? You're at war with Ari Mahaba, because you're accepting fiat currency. So the message is, yeah, just because you're black sheep doesn't make you bad. In a lot of ways it makes you good. That's God protecting us, removing people from our lives that don't belong. So hang in there. God bless. Much love.